Hello Achroma fans, I'm Lord then with AchromaLord, and I've got a quick video for you today just on some of the alt arts I've been able to pull out of the booster packs for chapter 1 that I've opened so far. I've now opened 85 packs, which is a total of 850 cards, and I've got some good alt arts from those. In fact, the very last card I revealed was Copper Joss alt art, which is very good, and I'll show you that one in a minute. It's a total of 17% of all the cards. I have got some duplicates of cards that I have pulled up. For example, Rusty, Fungwa, Split Decision, Achroma Claw, Monastery Keeper, one of my favourites here, Mrs. Potts. Also got multiples of Glacier's Draco, the Magus Elite Agent, and for some reason I just can't get away from the Brisgavi Fishing Spear. This card is haunting me as an alt art. I at least can use the other ones, but I just have no use myself for the Brisgavi Fishing Spear. It's a pretty cool card itself, this Fishing Spear. It does give the attached character Rage. If you've not come across Rage, I've got some videos coming up on keywords. Rage as a keyword actually gives you 2 attacks during your turn, which can be pretty cool to use. So starting off with Spirata, I managed to pull out a Split Decision alt art. So fantastic action. You get to draw 2 cards, deploy one now for free, and then discard the other. If you have a mechanism to claw back a card from your dregs, you can actually discard quite a nice card. If you're, for example, pulling out a fairy and an infirmary, you can discard the fairy, deploy the infirmary for free, which then lets you dig for the fairy and bring it straight back out. Can be pretty cool to do. We have a Serrano alt art, a Mrs. Potts, which is actually one of my favourites. I do think it's hilarious. We have a Ravaged one, which is a different take on the character design entirely. We have Dr. Cornelius Hugh. Another great card. You get to splatter one, you get to choose 2 colours, and the shard value of cards while in players' hands, including your opponents, is reduced by those chosen shards. Can be a great card for you to play. Everyone's favourite, Fungwa. I do love the fact that he is tromping his way through the middle of a leaf there. It looks absolutely fantastic. We have Wincy Rustweather, which is possibly one of my favourite cards in all of Spirata. I don't think I'll be making a deck without him anytime soon, just because he is so useful. He gets a Splat X function, as well as an action to draw a card. So you deploy him, you get to draw a card straight away, a 3-cost card, giving you +1 back on your resolve, and where you get to draw a card is pretty good. And on top of that, he also gets a Splat X where X is equal square. On top of that, he gets Splat X. On top of that, he gets Splat X, where X is each other character and location on your canvas. So if you were to do it on this canvas, for example, you would actually get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an additional splat to use during the resolve step. And finally, the 850th card I pulled up was actually Copper Joss, with the Copper Joss alt art, which is a fantastic alt art. You actually see her swooping through the air and turning around, ready to battle something behind her. She costs 4. Gives you a resolve of +3. She has Splat 3 as well, which means you're going to get 6 back during a resolve step. On top of which, Copper Joss cannot be attacked. Absolutely fantastic, great alt art to have, great card to have in itself, and one of the best ones out there. Get rid of these cards. And moving swiftly on to Norso. So with the Norso, I was able to grab a Lacringi Shield Maiden. I do love the basic sort of ink-looking alt arts that we have, so they're not just either the cartoony or anime style, they're not just an alternate artwork, they're not just zooming in on the character, but they're actually giving a different look to the character or the art style itself. It can look pretty fantastic. We have a Torstein's Gauntlet. Pretty fantastic card. Love it as an object. Has the same or a similar effect to Torstein himself, where X equals each character and location on your canvas. And the Torstein's Gauntlet can only be erased if attached character is erased, which means it's a 3-shard object, so whenever you're attacking with it, it's taking 3 of that damage on itself and it won't be erased. Pretty cool. Another one of these sort of ink on paper style of alt arts. The Brisgavi Fishing Spear. This is the alt art that's so far been my bane. I keep finding them. It keeps coming up and haunting me. And last but not least, we have the Lacringi Totem Worship. Pretty good card. Costs you 4, you get +2 for each hold or troll on your canvas, And if the Hold or Totem is on your canvas, you get +3 instead. A lot of the time you're rocking out with 3 or 4 of those trolls on your canvas, so that could be a big gain just from this one card on its own. And it is an action, but because you can have 2 of them in your deck, because it's a common card, means you can whack out 2 of those on one turn. Absolutely fantastic. Let's grab these cards over to one side, and we're back over to Curdle. We have Conjurer Otrix. As an action, you get to claim a character from another canvas. Absolutely hate that card being used on me because it's usually stealing one of my favourite cards. We have Klaus von Ruthro. This is the more anime style Alt Art artwork, so it's pretty good. Klaus von Ruthro, he's going to give you +2 for each other character on your canvas. He himself has a +3 on his resolve. He only costs 4, so he's an absolutely phenomenal card to use. If you can keep him on your canvas, he will win you the game. He is brilliant. Do not underestimate him. We have Sorcerer Pytharius. He is Steel X, where X is the number of occultist characters on your canvas. Don't forget, he himself is also an occultist character, so just placing him down is automatically going to give you Steel 1, and then each additional character on top of that is going to give you another Steel. Absolutely brilliant, and being a 3 cost, he's actually pretty cheap to use as well. And last but not least, we have the Magus Elite Agent. He gives you Prevent 1, and he only costs 2. Having some Prevent on your board can be absolutely phenomenal, especially as a way to slow down and stop an Achrom player from milling through your shard bank and reducing it down too quickly. Grab these cards to one side and move on to Draco. For Draco, we have Tengri. Once again, it's the anime style alternate artwork, absolutely fantastic. As an action, you get to choose another player, and they cannot deploy actions, locations, or characters during their next turn. It can be a great way to slow somebody down from being able to fill up their own canvas. We have Vortigern. As an action, you get to choose 2 of the following colours, and you erase all cards with the chosen colours. Do be warned, he has colour as well. So if you choose the colour on Vortigern, you're going to wind up erasing your own card. Lost Fairies. Love the artwork on Lost Fairies. A couple of fairies got lost in the Draco realm. Once during your turn, you can play 1 action card for free. Absolutely phenomenal card to use, especially in a sacrifice deck. If you want to know a bit more about the sacrifice keyword, do check out one of the videos coming up just on keywords. Next up, we have a Monastery Keeper. I love the Monastery Keeper as a card. This artwork is absolutely phenomenal. With the little lens flare coming up underneath the beard on this dragon. You get to see the size of the dragon compared to the Monastery Keepers. Don't forget, Monastery Keepers are humans. So whereas fairies themselves are only about 10 inches tall, the tiny little guys, maybe 15, 20 centimeters. Monastery Keepers, they're full-size humans. So that guy could be, 5'8", 5'10", 6 feet, something in that region. And that's the size of a dragon compared to them. One of my favourite alt arts next up, once again, it's this effect that I like. So you get to see the difference between the effect of the anime style effect and then this sort of ink on paper effect that we get with this Glacius Draco. I also love the Glacius Draco to use as a card because he does have Defend, which means that he can defend another character on your canvas when they are attacked once per turn. Absolutely phenomenal card. Up next, we have the Strength in Numbers. Only costs 2, and you get +2 for each dragon character on your canvas. Have 2 dragons on your canvas, and it's paying for itself. Okay. And last but not least, we have the Achroma Claw. The Achroma Claw is brilliant. It only costs 2, gives you -1 for your drain on your opponent, but it does give the attached character poisonous to any coloured card, which means any card with chroma colour on there, it will be poisonous to, which means you can very quickly stick this card on a cheap 1 shard or 2 shard card you have that perhaps you don't mind losing, and then you can attack a 5 shard or 6 shard legendary that you want to get rid of. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Check back for more soon. Bye bye.